Music's good? My voice too? Okay, hi guys. So for today, it's totally optional, but if you have a strap at home, use a strap. If you don't have a strap, long belt, towel, something that you can hook around your foot and extend your leg. If you don't have it, no stress, you can hold behind the thighs. I have a bolster just because I have some lower back stuff going on. I'm using it, and if you want to use a bolster too, go for it. Couch pillows could be good too. C'est pas obligatoire to be sequenced on the floor. Build time. Nice props, guys. All right. So meet me on the floor. On va commencer couché au sol, constructive rest. Donc pour aujourd'hui, ça se peut que vous ayez besoin d'une courroie. Si vous n'avez pas de courroie, une serviette, une ceinture, c'est ce que vous avez à la maison. So taking your time and get down towards the ground. And if you're comfortable with your bolster underneath your knees, you can go for that. If you have a couch pillow, that's good for that too. If not, constructive rest. Open your feet up as wide as your mat. Let your knees knock in towards one another. And let's just take a second here to let ourselves melt into the mat. Let's get ready for practice today. Start with the back of your head. Let it fall a little bit deeper into your mat or your prop. Bring your awareness behind your heart, your shoulders, and your ribs, and let that sink a little bit deeper into the mat. And come into awareness of your hips. Let them go, release them down. Release the thighs and knees, and finally, relax your toes. Arms can be by your side for this, palms up, or if you feel like feeling your breath a little bit more, connecting to your breath a bit more, you can bring your one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. And on your next inhale, take a big breath in, filling up your belly with breath, the sides of your ribs with breath, all the way up to your chest, throat, and mouth. Hold it for a moment. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go, and fall even deeper into your mat. Let your back body go, let your belly come towards the ground. Encore une autre fois comme ça, une longue inspiration, faites gonfler le ventre, le côté des côtes, le cœur, jusque dans la bouche. Retenez votre souffle. As you hold your breath, relax your lips, your eyes, your tongue. Ouvrez la bouche, expirez, relâchez, puis laissez le corps fondre encore plus profondément le sol. Welcome to your 60-minute yin practice. I like to call this one lying down with lo-fi beats. So a really good traditional kind of yin sequence where we'll hold the poses for about 3 to 5 minutes. Spend most of our time on the ground. And things like the props, like the couch pillows, your makeshift strap, just helping you kind of let go of any wanting to push or pull and find something a little bit below your edge. Making space in the body, slowing down your breath to come into kind of an ultimate relaxation. Go ahead and exhale completely. We'll begin to slow down our breath here. Breathe in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold your breath here. Once again, when you're holding, relax your body as you can. Open the mouth, exhale for the count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last bit of air, 1, and hold, softening the shoulders, releasing your bum. Start again. Inhale for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Feel the rise of your belly and chest. Now as you exhale out of your mouth for the count of 6, 5, feel your belly and chest come down to center. 3, 2, last bit of air comes out. 1, and hold. Encore une fois, inspirez pour 4, 3, 2, 1. Retenez. A little longer this time. Expirez pour 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Puis retenez. Hold your breath here. Take a long inhale through the nose and out of the nose. Your hands are anywhere else, go ahead and bring them onto your belly and feel that area of your belly, lower abdomen, before, underneath your belly button, above your pubic bone. That's where we want to breathe today. And it's not necessarily kind of condemning or saying it's a bad thing breathing from the chest. What we want to do is bring our awareness down into our belly. When we breathe into our belly, we're waking up a little bit more of a relaxing side, letting go of any kind of stress responses that can cause cortisone or kind of pains in the body. Bringing our wavelength of brains and our heartbeat at the same level. We come into kind of a bliss, a nirvana, a nice meditative moment. Avec les yeux fermés, commencez à inspirer et expirer au niveau du bas du ventre. Feel your breath in the front of your belly, the sides, the back, and think of it as your pelvis, breathing a 360 breath. Follow 3 breaths, just like that. Have a wonderful yin practice, everyone. Take as long as you need in each pose, or if you need to come out of it before, go for it. Listen to your body. Simply be aware of that low belly breathing today, and let gravity do what it needs to do. You're going to start in a butterfly, supta butterfly position. So if you do have a bolster or a couch pillar underneath your knees, you can leave it there. Simply bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Open up your knees, joining the palms of your feet together. Your knees and thighs are gonna fall onto your bolster or your pillows, or if you have nothing, let gravity do the work. Option to cactus your arms, or if you want to grab opposite elbows above your head. Either way, press into the back of the head to readjust your shoulders. Bring your chin in slightly in towards your chest. Let the elbows and the back of the hands get heavy as you open your chest. And start to sink in. Start with your back body. Let it melt into the ground. Release activation in your bum, your thighs, even your knees. Let your legs be a tiny bit heavier. Ankles sink into your mat. Fais attention à ne pas trop gripper avec vos doigts, les coudes ou les bras. Loose grip on the arms. Eyes open, staring at the spot above the ceiling, or above you, excuse me, on the ceiling. Ou bien les yeux fermés. Une fois que vous êtes confortable, une fois que vous êtes stable dans votre pose, venez vous concentrer sur votre souffle. Back to your low belly breathing. Just commit to following 5 or 6 breaths. And then when you're done, follow 5 or 6 more. Une position de corps qui peut paraître si simple, une position de yin qui peut paraître tellement sans effet, surtout au début de la pose. Mais à l'aide du support, à l'aide aussi du temps qu'on prend dans la pause, ça l'aide à trouver de la place, à faire de l'ouverture. Opening up small spaces between the ribs, stretching the muscles at the bottom of the lungs that do oh so much work. When we think about it, our body right here is in a totally opposite position than what it usually is. Deep breaths. And if you're holding on to opposite elbows, just switch your grip, bring your other arm on top or your other hand. If your arms are in cactus, you can leave them the way it is. Maybe you press into your head to readjust your shoulders, lay them a little bit flatter on the ground. And see if you can let those back ribs go. Release any kind of popping up that your chest wants to do. Let yourself be heavy. All right, 10 more deep belly breaths. Encore 10 respirations profondes dans le bas du ventre, dans le bas du dos, dans les côtés de votre taille. If your arms are above your head, go ahead and let them fall by your side. And with the help of your hands, you can go ahead and close your legs up, knees bent, feet on the floor. You can leave the bolster where it is if it's bothering you, or if your couch pillow is still there, you can move it out of the way, or you can leave it right here. With your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent, go ahead and press into your feet to readjust your hips. And push into your head to readjust your shoulders. And just start doing some really slow, small cat-cow movements here. And what you're doing is arching and rounding your spine, trying to find a neutral back. Just for the rest of our poses, we're going to try to keep that nice, soft, natural curve of the spine. And the little cat-cows here is going to help you find that right spot where the back of the head is flat onto the ground. Same thing with the back of the shoulders and shoulder blades. And then you'll have a little space at the bottom of your back, that arch of your lower back where you could slide like a piece of paper or a chocolate, something you wouldn't want to squish. And for the next little series of poses, what you're trying to do is keep that arch, that whole shape of your back the same way. So at any point, if you squeeze or you try to go a bit further and then your lower back presses onto the ground, try to release a tiny bit, and the strap is going to be there to help you, just so you can find that little arch in the lower back, aligning your spine and letting you get into the nitty-gritty of your hips with the next sequence. Option to leave your left leg bent, or maybe you slide it long and it's supported with the bolster underneath the knee. And that gives you a little bit of a break in the lower back and helps you keep that curve. Bend the right knee in and interlace your fingers either above the shin or maybe even behind the thigh. Your head and shoulders need to lift off the ground for this. Go ahead and grab behind the thigh, or maybe even use your strap over your knee, underneath your thigh. So you're not reaching for it. And your knee is just slowly coming in towards you. Let the weight of your leg and hip be quite heavy. Release the leg. And just with the help of gravity, start to pull your knee in towards you. It could be towards your right shoulder, could be towards the center or the left. Find whatever's comfortable. Our bones are all different. We're not all made the same, so our knees will all go in different directions depending on your body. Explore. And when you find that right spot where your whole back is nice and straight, start to take some deep belly breaths, feeling your belly press against your thigh on the inhale, and move away from your thigh on the exhale. Wind relieving pose. Not necessarily pulling with your arms, but gravity is kind of slowly doing the work from you. The hands are pressing down onto the legs or the thigh, and millimeter by millimeter bringing it closer to you. Ça se peut que d'un côté, vous ayez tendance à vous pencher plus sur un côté du sacrum. Essayez de vous trouver au neutre, au centre. So it's really kind of a tendency. I just did it right now when you're pulling into your one leg in this pose, that sometimes you have a tendency of rolling over to that side of the sacrum. Then maybe you have your lower back lifting on the other side. Go ahead and try to bring everything to center. Let that leg be heavy and point that knee outwards. And then slowly bring it in. And it's totally optional here, but if you wish, you can start circling the knee in one direction. Make your movement slow and really make your biceps here do all the work. So you're getting into that right hip. Almost imagining you had like a marker or a Sharpie on your knee and you're trying to draw a nice, perfect circle, as perfect as you can. And go in the opposite direction as well. And meet me back at center. Take your time, move slow. And as you come back to center, still holding your right knee, go ahead and just adjust your spine and find that nice back of the head, back of the shoulders, small space behind the lower back. And here you can grab your strap or whatever prop that you used, belt, towel, scarf, and go ahead and hook it onto the base of your toes. So not the arch, not the heel, the base of your toes. Kick your right leg up and slide your hands down your strap, your belt, your scarf so that your elbows are on the ground. Back of the head, back of the shoulders. And push that big toe mound in towards your strap or accessory. Roll your right hip down, your right bum down, and roll it to the front of the bottom of your mat. So towards your left toes, and you'll feel your lower back start to lift, readjust. And so the more you press the big toe mound, and the more you roll that right hip down and forward, you're going to feel that stretch right behind the right thigh. A bend in the knees is not a mistake. Same thing if you need a longer strap, go for it. Take the time you need to set yourself up into this position, and without forcing too much, there's just maybe 15% work here, and it's your foot that's doing most of it, your big toe mound. Rolling the hip down. Relax the right knee. Awareness in your low belly, lower back, sides of your pelvis. Breathe in there, that 360 breath, full circle. Et à tout moment ici dans la pause, remarquez ce que vous faites avec vos doigts. Remarquez si vous serrez la courroie ou si vous serrez votre foulard ou votre ceinture, relaxez les doigts. Les épaules loin des oreilles, le menton en direction de votre cœur. Gardez la nuque longue. As you like gravity and time create space, you do the same with your deep breathing into your belly. You create space, more space for your hips, less space for tension, more space for movement and lubrication of your fascia. Right hip rolling forward and down. Start to notice if there's any new sensations in your right leg, right hip, right hamstring. All right. Hold on to both sides of your strap or your scarf with your right hand, and come place your left hand onto your left hip, almost like you're anchoring it down. Start to bend your right knee to bring the knee on the outside of your torso, half happy baby. And you're gonna notice that you're gonna roll a bit to the right when you do this. Maybe you don't, but if it does happen, bring yourself back to center. Maybe the leg lifts a little bit higher. Try to feel some symmetry in this, even though you got one leg long, one leg bent. Feel how straight your spine is. Use the left hand to help anchor your left hip down. Relax your right elbow onto the ground. Deep breaths in your belly here. And straighten your leg back up towards the sky. Release the strap off of your foot and just maybe point your foot for a breath or two. Stretch the muscles of your toes up towards the sky. And then after a few breaths, start to flex your toes, spread your toes, kick your heel up and kick your toes towards your face. Spread them apart, pinky toe far away. Relax your foot, maybe do some ankle circles one way, notice all the cracking. And then move the other way, taking some deep breaths, being aware of how you move and how you breathe. Bend your right knee in, place place your foot onto the floor, slide that leg long. Take a few moments here. Move your strap to the side. Notice right side from left. Maybe close your eyes, maybe not. Juste remarquer la différence entre la jambe droite et la jambe gauche. Let's prep for the other side. So same options. Vous pouvez soit avoir la jambe droite qui est longue avec un traversin ou un oreiller de canapé en dessous du genou, ou bien plier la jambe droite puis placer le pied au sol. So leg straight, leg bent. Take some moments here. Just do some cat-cow with your spine. Look for your neutral back once again. Back at the head, back at the shoulders, small space in the lower back. Gardez tout ça vivant, l'alignement droit de la colonne. Pliez la jambe gauche. Changez la prise, switch your grip. Soit vous attrapez le dessus du genou gauche, le tibia, ou bien en dessous de la cuisse. L'idée, c'est de garder le même alignement dans la colonne sans rien perdre. Commencez à relaxer la hanche gauche, la cuisse gauche. Laissez la gravité ou la force de vos bras tirer le genou vers vous. Ça peut être en direction de l'épaule gauche, le centre, en direction de l'épaule droite. Respirez profondément, puis laissez votre ventre presser contre la cuisse sur l'inspiration. Suivez le mouvement du ventre qui descend vers le sol lorsque vous expirez. Just for 1 or 2 breaths, be totally aware, completely aware of your inhale all the way to the top. And then your exhale all the way to the bottom. Even be aware of that space between your inhale and your exhale and your inhale. Present till the end. Laissez votre genou gauche s'alourdir. Avec la force de vos bras, comme si vous aviez un crayon sur le dessus du genou, commencez à faire des cercles avec votre genou gauche. Tout en remarquant qu'est-ce qui bouge, quel côté de votre colonne bouge. Est-ce que c'est possible de rester dans un simili-alignement tout en bougeant le genou? And we're all made different, so if you move a lot when you kind of move your knee and do these circles, it's okay. All you want to do is just notice how your body reacts, what lifts, what feels good. Allez-y dans la direction opposée, other direction. And come back to center, réajustez, trouvez la colonne naturelle, la courbe naturelle dans votre colonne. Attrapez votre courroie, votre serviette, votre ceinture. Attachez-la sur la base, la plante de vos pieds, puis allongez la jambe gauche vers le ciel. Jouez avec la strap de question que les coudes, les bras soient encore au sol. Vous n'avez pas les épaules soulevées ou la tête. Right? Try to release that yang energy that wants to kind of reach for more and really activate the arms. Go ahead and let your big toe mound of the left foot press into your strap. Roulez la hanche gauche vers le bas et puis vers l'avant, vers le bas de votre tapis. Continue to flex your toes towards your left knee. You're going to see it's going to accentuate whatever sensation you have in the back of your thigh. Puis suivez 10 respirations profondes dans le bas de votre ventre, l'arrière, le devant, les côtés. Une respiration de circonférence. Right. Grab the strap in your left hand, la courroie, les deux côtés de la courroie dans la main gauche. Main droite sur la hanche droite. So anchor your right hip down with the help of your right hand and begin to bend your left leg for half happy baby. Donc, la moitié, le bébé heureux, mais à la moitié. Pliez le genou gauche en essayant de garder une symétrie dans le dos, dans la colonne. C'est normal, vous allez vouloir vous pencher un peu vers la gauche. À l'aide de la main droite, redressez-vous, ramenez-vous vers le centre. Roll your tailbone towards your yoga mat, so it brings a little bit of that arch into your lower back. Maybe your leg goes further away like that. It's okay. That's why you got the strap. Enlevez la courroie puis allongez la jambe gauche vers le ciel. Pointez vos orteils, puis prenez une ou deux respirations. Right, left leg extended, toes pointed. Take one or two breaths here. Really pointing. Faites la direction opposée maintenant. Fléchissez les orteils, séparez-les le mieux que vous pouvez. Pressez un peu comme kicker votre chevet gauche vers le plafond. Puis relaxez votre pied, commencez à faire des cercles vers un côté. And as you're doing these ankle circles, just commit to like 3 or 4 deep breaths. Even when you meditate, you never want to give yourself like, I'm going to follow 1,000 breaths or I'm going to do 2 hours of meditation. Give yourself a small goal, 10 breaths, 5 minutes. If you're feeling good, do another 5. And so on and so forth. Move in the other direction. L'autre côté avec les cercles de votre chevet. Left knee in towards your chest, left foot on the ground. Allongez les jambes, legs long. Maybe on the bolster or your couch pillow. Maybe you're on the ground. Feel that nice space between the hip and the femur, between the lower back and your bum, and all along the back of the thighs. All right, we did one leg at a time. Let's do both legs all together. Go ahead and bend your legs and bring both your knees into your chest. It could be more comfortable to just hold on to kind of cup one knee in each hand. Maybe you give yourself a bear hug. Maybe your knees are closer together. Maybe they're wider apart. Go ahead and play around with your cat-cow spine here and find that nice neutral spine and just find what feels good. Sometimes we do things a certain way for a whole class and then we kind of explore in another practice where we get too much time, like in yin, and we figure out something different, another way we like to hold. Wherever you are, let your belly press against your thigh on the inhale. And come back to center on your exhale, and maybe just notice how your breath is, if it's slower, if it's deeper, or if it's just the same. All right, you're gonna kick your legs up towards the sky. There's an option here to hook your strap once again around the balls of your feet, and you're gonna wanna have your feet about hip width apart. Strap or whatever prop that you have. Hip width apart with a gentle bend in the knee. Press the big toe mounds, press the little toe mounds into the strap. Roll your bum down towards the mat and towards the bottom of your mat. Relax the back of the head and shoulders. 10 deep breaths. Just noticing here what could be released, what could be softened. And whenever you're done your 10 breaths, slowly remove the strap and bring yourself into happy baby. And if you lift up your head, then you gotta grab something. Make sure you can bring the back of your head back down onto the ground. You can grab the outside of your feet, ankles, behind your knees, the inside. Peu importe ce que vous attrapez, assurez-vous d'avoir le dos au sol. Roll your tailbone down just a bit. Create a little space in the back and the lower back. Pull the knees down. Kick the heels up. Deep breath, belly breaths. With the help of your hand, bring your knees together. Place your feet on the floor, extend your legs. Take a few moments. Feeling your legs long, you can move the bolster, the couch cushion out of the way. You may not need it for the next pose, but bring it to the side just in case. Let the back of the body sink into the mat and just remind yourself that you're giving yourself a nice gift right now, the gift of moving slowly for an hour, of following your breath and being in control and aware for an hour. Creating space and helping you be more present. Open your arms up into a T, palms up towards the sky. Bend your legs and place your feet onto your mat. And bring your knees a little bit closer, knees and ankles a little bit closer together. Readjust your head and shoulders, find that nice natural groove of your spine. And we're gonna do a bit of a different twist than we usually do, just to go into the season of spring, a nice energizing, also relaxing, but energizing to wake us up from dormant winter twist. Go ahead and let your knees fall towards the left, keeping the ankles and the knees together as much as you can. If your knees don't hit the ground, then that's maybe when you want to use a bolster underneath the knees or some blankets or block. Push into the back of your head and scoot your right shoulder blade and shoulder down. And with your feet, you want to think you're creating like a 90-degree angle, like you were sitting in a chair. Before you move in your twist, let your back body, especially the back of the ribs, the back of the shoulders, sink down. Avoid any kind of back bending here. Breathe deep into your belly for 1 or 2 rounds. And if you feel like it, you can turn your head towards the left in the opposite direction. Full twist. Once again, here, all you're doing is just making it a point to breathe into the bottom of your belly. Anytime your body's calling out to you, you're noticing an opening, finding length, or just noticing oh, I feel so good feeling. Be aware of it. Become precise and notice which part of your body specifically is opening, is finding space, is being released. Five more breaths. Begin by bringing your eyes to center. Slight baby activation in your belly as you bring your knees back to center. Readjust your upper body. Take a few breaths. Let your body unwind. De l'autre côté, ramenez vos chevilles, les genoux un peu plus proches un vers l'autre. Ramenez les genoux vers la poitrine, puis laissez vos genoux cette fois-ci tomber vers la droite. Si les genoux tombent au sol, parfait. Si c'est très loin du sol, attrapez des oreillers, des blocs. Faites-vous une structure pour que les genoux déposent sur quelque chose. Restez dans l'arrière de la tête, puis ramenez l'épaule gauche, l'omoplate gauche vers le sol. Avant de vouloir essayer de toucher l'épaule ou les genoux au sol, commencez par laisser tout relaxer, surtout les genoux, surtout l'arrière des côtes, l'arrière des épaules. Relaxez l'arrière du cœur vers le tapis. Ramenez le souffle dans le profond, la partie profonde du ventre, en dessous du nombril, par-dessus le pubis. Restez où vous êtes ou complétez le twist en regardant vers la gauche. For the full twist, look in the opposite direction of your knees. And just follow that opening, follow that sensation, even if it's slow. Where does it start? Is it more in your neck or your belly? The sides of your body, your chest? Commencez à être conscient de qu'est-ce que la posture fait, à quel endroit dans votre corps. If your mind went somewhere else, it's totally possible. Mine just did. Try to bring yourself back into what you're feeling. Try to bring yourself back following 5 breaths, maybe 3. Just so you bring yourself back to right here, right now. Trying to be as present as you can be in this 60-minute class. Cinq respirations, 5 more breaths. Vous commencez à ramener votre tête vers le centre. Une légère activation du ventre et des abdominaux juste pour ramener les genoux vers le centre. Redéposer les pieds au sol. Ouvrez les jambes. Open your legs up in constructive rest or simply let them be long. Arms by your side. Picture the rise and fall of your belly. Picture the rise and fall of your chest. Try to feel it without touching it. Raise your right arm above your head, bend your right knee, and just bring yourself onto your belly in the most smoothest, kind of slowest, keeping that yin vibe with you during your transition. And we're gonna meet for a quick Sphinx. There's 2 options if you don't have a bolster. Feet are as wide as you need them to be, tops of the feet flat on the mat. Relax your legs, let your hips be heavy into your mat. You can grab opposite elbows. Have a bolster, or if you have a couch cushion or a rolled up blanket you want to use, you can come lie on your bolster. So the top of the bolster is at the end of your ribs, beginning of your abdominal line. Bring your elbows in front of your ribs, kind of giving you that natural lift if you're using the bolster. Either way, still pressing your elbows slightly into the ground, pressing the fingertips into the ground, almost like you're wanting to pull the ground towards you. Roll those shoulders back. Lift that heart up and reach the crown of the head up to the sky. Eyes open or closed. Peut-être après cette transition, peut-être dans cette nouvelle pause, vous vous sentez un petit peu plus long. La colonne un petit peu plus droite ou alignée. If you're using a prop on your belly or where the abdomen is, like a bolster or a blanket, let your belly be a little bit heavy into the prop. You feel like a slight pressure, just pressing on those lines. Like when you do a toe stretch or a pressure point. Releasing tension, detoxing, refreshing, restarting. Stay here. I'll guide us into a seal pose if that's what you wish. Remember, legs can be a little bit wider for more comfort. You're coming into seal pose. I just want you to bring more weight into thumb, index, and index. Donc, roulez le poids vers l'intérieur de vos mains, pouce et index. Pressez la base des paumes au sol, puis redressez vos bras, straighten your arms. Just bringing more weight on the inside. Roll those shoulders back. Lift those biceps up towards the sky, almost like you had down dog hands. Still being able to breathe those deep breaths here in the belly. Maybe the stretch is a little bit more obvious here. Come down when you need. We have about 45 seconds left in this pose. Three more breaths. Slowly start to bend your elbows so you bring yourself back in Sphinx if you were in seal. Hands onto your bolsters or underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back into a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees as wide as your mat, or knees together, arms behind you. Whatever's comfy. Maybe you use the bolster for your head and your arms. Let your belly hang. Let your head be heavy. If your head doesn't touch the ground, make fists. Put some pillows underneath there. Bring the ground to you. So coming into, still on the ground, but coming into a new position. A position of forward fold to let our kidneys know, let our nervous system know, to really prepare for relaxation. See if you can inhale and exhale for the count of 4 and keep your mind on that for maybe 3 rounds of breath. Inhale for 4, exhale for 4, and repeat. Lift your head up and walk your hands over onto the left side of the mat. Maybe they're on the ground next to your mat. Hands on the ground. Let your head hang, or maybe the left side of your temple or right side of your right side of your head, left side of your head. whatever's comfy. Press your hands into the ground as you try to reach your bum towards your heels. And bring all of your mind into the right side, right hip, right side of your belly, and breathe there. Soulevez votre tête, marchez vers le centre, puis allez-y de l'autre côté. Slowly make yourself overturn to the right side. Placez les mains au sol, peut-être le bout des doigts au sol. Si la tête touche, parfait. Vous pouvez placer un côté de la tête si vous voulez. Continuez à presser les mains au sol pour allonger le côté gauche. Essayez d'asseoir le fessier gauche sur le talon gauche. Si ça touche, parfait. Si ce n'est pas le cas, ce n'est pas du tout grave. Créez de l'espace, puis venez respirer dans le côté gauche de votre hanche, du bas du dos, du ventre. Soulevez la tête, revenez vers le centre. Take a few more breaths here in center. We're going to come out of this the same way we came in. So if your bolster's in the way or your couch pillows are in the way, go ahead and move them to the side. Press into your hands as you slide yourself onto your belly. Come into crocodile. Bend your elbows. Place one hand on top of the other. Rest your head onto your hands. Let your feet flat open. Let your whole body relax. And in a slow movement, as slow as you can or as you want, just roll yourself onto your back as you prepare for Shavasana. If you have a bolster or a couch pillow, you can place that, like at the beginning, underneath your knees. Ou bien, si vous voulez un peu plus de poids, if you need something to ground you, placez le traversin sur les hanches. Place your bolster on your hips or on where your belly is, lower belly, to help you ground. Arms by your side. Press into your head, readjust your shoulders. Pressez dans les pieds, réajustez vos hanches. Laissez-vous aller. Let go. Let the fingers soften. Release the tongue and cheeks and jaw. C'est tout l'arrière du corps fondre dans votre tapis en vous laissant bercer quasiment par le sol. Release total observation and control of your breath. Simply just let everything go and be natural. At the end of our practice, our mind naturally simply becomes aware and notices. This is a part of your practice where your body reaps all the benefits, where your mind and subconscious goes into deep reflection, where we begin to notice maybe thoughts, patterns, things about ourselves. Maybe you just let go and relax. 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 A few more moments if you can in your Shavasana. Merci d'avoir été là. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely week. Bonne semaine. Namaste.